Hi guys, it's Brendan here for another episode of Charlie's and Coffee. Hopefully, no technical difficulties today. We have a new computer, so my CTO is not accusing me of having a potato anymore. We have a MacBook, and it is firing on all cylinders. It's a standard camera, so that's great. Uh, Big fan of that, although look a little ragged still. Maybe I'm just tired. But there's a lot going on with the company, so I'm super excited to share some of those updates with you guys. And then we can talk a little bit about some of the other happenings in just the AI world in general. And then maybe a look towards the future and maybe an ask from there. So with that, let's jump right into it. So on the company side, so we effectively closed this round. We have the money that we need to be able to execute and grow the team over the next year with a time horizon. So thank you for joining us for that journey. Thank you for all of your support to help us get here. Thank you for all the commentary, everyone that told their friends about Charlie, everyone that brought this in. I think we are just at the beginning and cusp of a much larger momentum builder. I think I can feel it. The rest of the team can feel it. Hopefully, you guys can feel it. But what this also means is that I can now put fundraising in the rearview mirror and solely focus on working with you guys to make sure that we have the best AI product for you. Now, a couple awesome announcements. Some of you are friends with me on Facebook, so you've probably already seen this. But we announced Ask Charlie. So Ask Charlie, we announced it at XRC Demo Day, and we were able to discuss what that means. And so for those of you that aren't aware, we talked a little bit about this with the agent, but it's becoming a lot more clear and a lot more tangible now, where Ask Charlie is effectively an AI brain. This AI brain sits on top of Charlie, the large language model. It will sit on top of many of the other features that we have. It's truly a unique setup, and this is a true evolution of the AI space in general. So where this differs from a transformer-based model or LangChain, for those of you that know what that is, or prompt chaining or any of that, is that you can give a very complex command, and Charlie will be able to reason what tools are necessary to go and execute it. So a perfect example would be, hey, can you research this topic that I want to write a niche blog about, summarize what the latest updates in that topic might be, and then turn that into a perfectly formatted blog post and a couple social media posts to support it with accompanying visuals. That's a very complex prompt, right? Because one, you need Charlie to go out and research. Two, you need Charlie to know what a blog is. Three, you need Charlie to understand what social media posts are. Four, you need him to create visuals that are all contextually relevant to what you've just discussed, correct? So that's where we're going. That's where this all evolves, is you now have this intelligent agent at your disposal, and it will all be available through the simplicity of a chat interface, but with many of the upgraded UI capabilities and UX capabilities that you still know and love from Charlie's current product suite. Now, that will take time. We have a tentative date of when we would like this to come out, but I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So just keep your eyes peeled. Now, I know the first thing that's going to come out of anyone's mouth is like, do LTDs get access to this? Do existing customers get access to this? The transition plan is everyone will get access to this. So we will be doing a product hunt launch of this when it is available. All LTD holders will automatically be transitioned to it. It will effectively be the new iteration of the product. Now, this will take time. And for people that are coding literate and want to build specific tooling for Charlie, there's some really amazing stuff that you can do. So if there's stuff that you feel like AI applications are not doing, or if there are things that you wish Charlie had as features, the beautiful part of Ask Charlie is that we can plug any tooling into it that you might need. So that means if you have a data set that you want Charlie to reference, you're going to be able to plug that in. If you have different applications that you pull from for your own activities, eventually Charlie will be able to plug into any of those things. If you have a certain toolkit that you or software tool that you want the AI to execute, Charlie can learn to do those things. This is why we built this. So first, it may give a very similar experience to like if you had ChatGPT, but every plugin ever was available to you. But in the long run, it's able to learn you over time. It'll still bring in the branding capabilities. It'll still bring in the learning you, but it will be able to reason and decide what tooling is necessary to best execute this task that you give it. I kind of think of it akin to you have your own really, really, really way smarter than you intern, which if anyone's hired an intern, that's what you want to hire, someone that's way, way smarter than you that can get stuff done with all the newest and latest available tools. That's all I can really share on Ask Charlie. Obviously, as we lead up, there will be more. So we hit fundraising, we hit what we announced. Now, a couple more fun things for you. So a couple things coming down the line. We have added 2 new team members, one on the software engineering side. I will introduce them at a future date. But we've also added another person on the growth side. So her name is Masha Titova, and Masha is a founder friend of mine. She has scaled fashion brands across her entire career. She worked at Yeezy, LVMH, all of these great brands, and she even started her own fashion company and was in the New York City Fashion Show every single year of that company's operations. So she is no stranger to scaling businesses that are difficult to scale, but she also has founder energy. So she knows that talking to customers is one of the most important parts. So when she is ready and has her sea legs under her, I will introduce her to you guys in the community. She will be working with me to grow the business, making sure that your guys' voices are heard and making sure that we're building a product that ultimately helps you make your lives better. So that's it. More team members being added, more people coming to the Charlie cause, more new products and fundraising coming in to power a lot of those things. I think this is truly the start of some really great momentum that we're going to have here. If I had to summarize it all, we're putting intelligence in actual AI. We're giving a brain to that technology, and we're adding more brains to our team to do it. Now, that's the majority of top level updates. I know some of you are frustrated with some of the current things going on with the product. That's totally fine. We are planning to address every one of those things in the new updates. So I encourage patience. More things will come, but for now, keep working through. We think Charlie's still capable of doing everything that you need to do now, but it's going to evolve quite rapidly in the next month. So that being said, I wanted to see if there's any questions from you guys. I know some of the people on the call are new, so welcome to you. I know that some people have been here for a while, so it's great to see kind of a mix of both. But any questions from the crowd? Okay, thanks for the transparency and vision for the Go Charlie platform. All right, so maybe while you guys are thinking about those questions, there's been a lot of updates in the AI space. And so I've also realized that part of being a founding member of an AI team is bringing you guys up to speed on like everything that's happening in the AI world and how it might apply to us. So I think ChatGPT is doing some really interesting things. They're releasing new capabilities. They have more plugins. We just don't see the large language model architecture being the way that AI evolves into the future. This is going to get a little bit more technical, but for those of you that don't know, existing large language models, they hallucinate. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand what a word means. And they're definitely not something that should be relied upon for search. Like that's first and foremost. Large language models inherently should not be search databases. They will get things wrong, and they were trained at a certain point in time. So if I could encourage anything, do not use a large language model as a search engine. Google is still way better at that. For all you SEO experts out there, that means that's still going to exist. So that's one thing for you. The second thing, so the second thing is that you I think you're going to start to see some people turning their heads. So if there's one paper, like if any of you guys are inclined to look at papers, Jan LeCun just released something called IJEPA that is discussing more of a cognitive architecture. So I think even Sam Altman has said that like training large language models is not the future. There's too many inherent risks. If enterprises are going to implement AI, they need something that's more reliable. So one of those things is you're just going to get to a place where like large language models have kind of plateaued in their capabilities. You can optimize, you can fine tune, you can do a couple things there to eliminate some of the issues. But ultimately, I think for the level of reliability that's needed for companies to implement these things, you're going to have to go beyond large language models. And I think one of the very surprising bits of this is that I've found that most people think that AI just learns you over time. Like they think that's inherently part of what happens. And I'm here to tell you that that's not how existing AI works. If someone is telling you that, they are wrong, just plain and simple. Machine learning at scale is very expensive. So a startup that's saying, hey, this model learns you over time without any sort of mention of a cognitive architecture, there's ways to hack it with like long-term and short-term memory from AI, but it's not really doing what everyone perceives to be machine learning. That actually takes a retraining, but that's also one of the reasons that we're looking at more cognitive architectures. So cognitive architecture gives memory, it gives understanding, it gives learning capabilities, it gives memory. So you can kind of do that and hack it with context windows and large language models, but there's no assurances that whereas a cognitive architecture is able to reason, determine what's important, and ultimately decide those things for you. So that's one of the reasons that we're focusing on this evolution of cognitive architecture. So you're going to see a whole bunch of new models coming on board. You're seeing a whole bunch of crazy funding rounds out there. For us, we want to be a little bit more conservative in our funding rounds. We don't want to be caught in a place where we get this massive valuation and then all of a sudden we are not able to achieve the lofty growth projections that we have. So I think that's one of the things that we need to, that we're focused on. We're an early stage company. We had some success early. I think we will continue to have success, but we're focused on what's the next iteration of AI and how do we build that? Okay, so it looks like we have some questions. Where's a script writer? So the script writer, the way that you can do this is you go into content repurposing. You go choose whatever input you want to use for script writing. And then you can go to Command Charlie as your output. And then you can just say, write a TikTok script or write an Instagram reel script or create a script for a video that I want to do that's roughly X amount of minutes. And that should be able to execute the video scripting needs that you have. Now, we will evolve that into one chat-based experience. But right now, what I'm finding is sometimes with video scripts, you want to use a news article as your input, and you want to be able to create scripts for videos from there. Okay, for like TikTok or YouTube. Okay, yeah, so answer that question. What can we expect next? And Charlie, that was me calling you. I hope it was you. Call back whenever this call is over. What can we expect next in Charlie? So we talked about that a little bit at the beginning, but the next evolution will be Ask Charlie. It will be a cognitive capability. It will add an AI brain. You'll be able to do complex tasks where you can ask Charlie to research, create, generate imagery, and then even cite sources all in one place. A little bit more advanced. Now, for you guys, it may not feel all that different at first, but we'll start to show you some ways that this starts to go across a whole bunch of different previous workflows that you had. For you SEO people, it might even be able to do some of those keyword optimization and research capabilities that you were also thinking of, but do it in a way where you don't have to even work at the keyword clusters or go determine your niche. You can just tell Charlie to go do all of that work for you and then bring it back in. Question, is Go Charlie's brand memory in the project section similar to what you were talking about in the AI learning discussion you just shared? So Rob, that's a great question. The answer is it's similar to, it's a bit more of a context window with the way that it currently works. Now, it's important to note there's two kind of key components of what's going on in the projects window. So the first part is you giving it context, right? So that kind of goes into the brand projects. That's more of a world level prompt. So it's establishing the world that you are creating within. So think of that as like a top crust layer, your brand voice. Then you have the Charlie engine down here, the large language model that's communicating with that. Then you have like the type of content you want to create. So think of that as sort of the prompt. But then there's another layer to it for our platform called Charlie the Researcher, where he's going out to the web and bringing that information back in. And ultimately, that is also being incorporated. So that's competitive landscape, competitive knowledge, industry. Charlie the Researcher kind of plays in that in-between mode. So it's a little bit different than just a context window. It's not Charlie just taking those words and then throwing them into everything. Hopefully that answers your question, Rob. But the way that we think about this in the long term is the researcher is just built into the brain capabilities of Charlie. Not using Charlie nearly as often as I should. I find myself in OpenAI wrappers or ChatGPT far more often. No, I'm missing out. If I'm going to get hooked on Charlie, what would be the best entry point for me to use to make him my default muscle memory AI tool? So I think the answer to that question really depends on what you're trying to create. I think that the assistant is really great. It's effectively a chat-based interface, but it's skewed towards marketing, go-to-market strategies. So if you're needing to help clients or needing to grow your own business, it's a great way for you to just have that interface back and forth that you can talk to and iterate with. Now, if you were trying to just churn out a whole bunch of content, or you're starting from anywhere with content, I think content repurposing is your best friend. So it really depends on what content you're trying to create. If you're doing social media, I would say the social media wizard is where you want to spend a lot of your time. But I really think that content repurposing is kind of a vision of the future of where this is going, where you can use anything as an input and you can have Charlie do anything with that input in a very intelligent manner. What this might look like as a tease is like, hey, here's a link to this YouTube video, create a transcript for it in an SRT file. And then from that SRT file, go write a blog that is going to rank in SEO at the top of XYZ niche. And so you'd get the file back and you'd get some of those, the blog content and SEO content as well. So I would say if you're looking to build your muscle memory with Charlie, the best place to start is probably content repurposing. I think it's the most in terms of its capabilities, but it's also the most powerful in terms of where you can go, what you can do with it, especially with the addition of the Command Charlie piece. One other question, I've obviously not spent enough time in GoCharlie. Am I able to create images a la Midjourney and GoCharlie? So Midjourney is kind of viewed as the leader in image-based models. The answer is yes, you can create images. The answer is no, it is not the Midjourney model because they do not API their technology out. Now, for the benefit of the group here, we are building our own large language model and multimodal model with SRI International. I know you guys don't care as much on end, but just for your benefit, a multimodal model means that we can do text and images in and text and images out. We're doing this with the guys that built Siri. And ultimately, that will result in us having our own image model that will be more highly capable, especially for more branded assets as well as marketing use cases that are needed by our customers. Do you ever see Charlie doing video? So that's a great question. So the answer is yes, I do. Long run, yes. I like to think on 10-year time horizons. Yes, I think Charlie will be able to any content medium. From the very get-go, we always intended to be multimodal. We wanted to build our own models, though. We want to build our own foundational tech. I think what Ask Charlie enables us to do is have a brain that can execute across open source solutions that are released. It can train across all of the things that we build on our own tech stack and even execute across different softwares as well. So what that might mean from the video perspective is maybe we start with just video editing or chopping video or making a large video into small videos, which is what content repurposing was originally built to do. And then from there, once we have those editing capabilities, we're also exploring some text to video models. Now, text to video models, for those that are on the call, it's not quite there, right? It's not there. You can do like templated videos that are slides with a little bit of information over top of it, but it's not quite there in terms of video editing, in terms of like truly generating a video that would be commercial level quality. But all of the AI will get there. We have every intention of having those capabilities in the platform in the long run. So hopefully that helps give you an idea of what we're thinking for video. Writing menu description, design standards most often. Yeah, so that's great. I would say try Command Charlie. I haven't used Command Charlie just for that. So maybe try Command Charlie and give an idea of like the menu descriptions and design standards that you're looking for, and just see what he's able to come up with. I can't guarantee success on those. There's a bit more edge case than I've even explored, but I think it'll get you pretty close. You just mentioned SEO. What types of features related to SEO can we look forward to in the near future for Charlie? Yeah, so couple things that we're thinking of that people have mentioned. One is being able to do the SERP analysis for you guys, being able to have Charlie analyze what's available out there for a specific niche, and try to rank at the top of that specific niche. So that's one of the things that we've been hearing from you all, is rather than you doing the research on the front end, rather than you guys going to a Neuron Writer or going to some other tools that might be optimized for that, or even going to Surfer, who now just released a bunch of AI stuff themselves. I don't know if their pricing makes sense, but separate. So we want Charlie to take over more and more of that workload. So finding the right keywords, making sure that the content is structured in a way that makes sense, making sure that you have the right keyword density that you're going to be able to rank. We want to incorporate all of that into the AI capabilities. So what this will manifest itself is like a persona for Charlie. So Charlie will have an SEO capability as part of this AI brain, that whenever you're doing SEO related tasks, you can just go ask Charlie to do those things, and he will call upon that knowledge base that he's established. Question. I need to build a series of video sales letters for a client. Where do I start with GoCharlie to build VSL scripts? Rob, maybe shoot me a DM and let's see what we can make happen there, because I want to make sure I understand exactly what you mean by VSL before we get into that. But I think I know what you mean. But let's chat offline on that, and we can see what we can get done for you. Cool. Awesome. So I think maybe looking ahead, Camp Charlie for summer camp is going to be that last week of June. So we've secured someone for websites. We've secured someone for affiliate marketing. But I would love to get someone that's focused on SEO. I would love to get maybe someone that is focused on video scripts. So it sounds like there's a couple people interested in video scripts, but I'd love to work with you guys to have just a 30-minute chat with the group about how you think about creating video scripts. The idea with these isn't just to like show the Charlie tool. Like, I would love that if you guys are able to successfully use Charlie to do the things you do, but I want to give people an opportunity to talk about their business and how they're using AI-based tools to enable them. Really, I want just this to be like a thought leadership matter, where it's more, how do we think about creating these different pillars or types of content? And so that's kind of what we're looking to do with the camp. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you want some free advertising about your business, we would love to make that happen with you all. So just shoot me a email at brennan@gocharlie.ai, and we can make that happen. But that's something I'm looking forward to. My hope is that this is just more fun. You know, I want the group to have a lot more fun. Fundraising has run me ragged, and we haven't been having as much fun as I would like. I will be the first to say that. But my plan over the course of the rest of this year, as well as with the addition of Masha, as we get back to what we do best, which is creating content as fun as playing with a puppy. And that means having some fun in the playpen that is our Facebook community. I keep forgetting that Charlie is marketing focused first. I'll keep that in mind when I go in there to try to build an entire corporation. Now, okay, so that is a great point. So just so you all know, Ask Charlie expands from just marketing. So Ask Charlie, because of its brain capabilities, can expand out beyond marketing. Now, we will be better than everyone else at marketing content, because that's where we started. That's where we have the most rich data sets. Those are our capabilities. But I've just done 4 or 5 sessions at SF Tech Week where I've worked with startups to just take an idea that they had and turn it into the name of that company, turn it into what's the brand profile of that company, turn it into the go-to-market strategy of that company, turn it into What should we be thinking about when we're looking at strategy for this specific product? What should we be thinking about in terms of value propositions? So Charlie is really great at marketing, but Charlie also has a whole bunch of capabilities inherently part of building a business. Charlie literally trained on marketing and sales and go to market and business development. So you can sit there and say, okay, I have this problem with my business. What do you think we should do? That's more the assistant capabilities. That was intended to be what the assistant does, is focuses as your assistant. And then the content that he creates can be marketing focused to attempt to execute that. Now, as we go into Ask Charlie, it opens it back up to a bit more of a generalist perspective. So you can still use Charlie's capabilities for your entire corporation. I just think that it's most effective for marketing. Now, I know that's difficult framing, but I promise that will make a whole lot more sense as the new Ask Charlie product comes online. Cool. Okay, guys. Well, I have a whole slate of meetings today. We are getting some design folks in for the new product. We are developing some tooling, and we are getting the summer camp going. So this is Brennan signing off from LA. But it's so awesome to see how many new folks are in here. It's so awesome that you all are excited about using Charlie. And I am so excited to put fundraising behind me so I can just focus on playing with you guys. So shoot me some DMs, shoot me some notes, shoot me whatever gripes you have. Let's get this thing going. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.